Hi, and welcome to Sequential Artifacts, a series about comic book history and culture, profiling comics from my personal collection. In October of 1990, the Museum of Modern Art opened a new exhibition titled High and Low: Modern Art and Popular Culture. On the press release for the show, the MoMA announced, "This exhibition addresses the relationship between modern art and popular culture and commercial culture. From Paris to World War I to New York City today, this dialogue has been central to the modern visual experience." Although many historians have attempted to analyze this subject, especially since the advent of pop art, this is the first exhibition to examine in depth this pervasive phenomenon. Concentrating on painting and sculpture, the exhibition is divided into four basic themes: graffiti, caricature, comics, and advertising. Over 250 works by approximately 50 artists show the varieties of appropriation on the one hand and transformation on the other, through which high art borrowed from low art and vice versa throughout the 20th century. This marks the first time the work of comics were displayed in a major museum, and it wasn't without controversy. Of course, some applauded the exhibition and others criticized it. Many of those critics were comic book creators who thought the show missed the mark on representing the current state of comics. No matter where you fall on the issue, the show was an important presentation of the history of comics' connection to what was classified as fine art. Fortunately, over the years, that line has mostly dissolved, and the art of comics doesn't carry any stigma or distinction as lowbrow. It doesn't need explanation or qualifiers. It is art. Nuff said. A plenitude of creators and innovation has demonstrated the aesthetic importance of comics as art. Each one of us could create a long list of comic book artists who demonstrate the beauty and power of this medium, the ninth art. Personally, I have been drawn to the mixed media artists that have given us some of the most dynamic, rich, and striking comic book covers in the history of the form. Artists like Dave McKean, David Mack, Alex Maleev, Tom Taggart, and the incomparable Bill Sienkiewicz. And in this world of mixed media comic books, perhaps my favorite works are photocollages. And the king of that genre, no doubt, is Jack Kirby, the pioneer of the style's use in comic books. Traditionally, collage is defined as an artistic composition made of various materials and media adhered to a substrate or surface. And of course, collage has been a method in fine art for over a century. Kirby's first foray into this comic book art experiment is a half-page panel in Fantastic Four number 29 in 1964. Though it seems slightly stylistically intrusive, the idea presents potential, and over a few more issues, he integrates the technique more seamlessly into his comics, eventually arriving at Fantastic Four number 51. Here, Kirby creates a masterpiece. He uses cutouts from various periodicals and photographs and illustrates on top of the collage to create something wholly new in comics, both artistically and narratively: the negative zone. Comics collage at its best. In a 1987 interview with filmmaker Ken Viola, eventually published in the 1995 issue number 7 of the Jack Kirby Collector, Kirby says of his collage work, "It added an extra dimension to comics. I wanted to see if it could materialize, and it did. I loved doing collages. I made a lot of good ones. Still can. I feel that everybody should. Collages are a game we can all play and have a great time with." For this episode, I want to drill down even further. I will be focusing on the combination of black and white photographs or photocopies layered with color illustration. Not so much a cut and paste collage as a layered visual experience, a hybrid of realism and cartooning that creates something with a foot in two worlds. The method connects the diegetic with the non-diegetic. It's a paradox. It should break the contract of suspension of disbelief, but for me, it somehow strengthens it. In Understanding Comics, Scott McCloud talks about the relationship between cartooning and photorealistic art, and says this dichotomy allows readers to mask themselves in a character and safely enter a sensually stimulating world. While Kirby is the forerunner in this method, there are a number of others that have effectively utilized this method to create unique comic book covers. Here is a look at the highlights from my collection. I'll do this by year. Fantastic Four number 33, cover art by Jack Kirby. This is Kirby's first photo collage cover. It's a striking assemblage with a collage of corals and deep sea life, a perfect synthesis of illustration and constructed background. This technique gives color so much life. Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. number 4, cover art by Jim Steranko. Steranko was no stranger to collage. He sometimes employed it to create trippy, surreal layouts in his Nick Fury run. This cover doesn't perfectly depict the style that I have described at the start of this video, but I love it nonetheless. I wish it wasn't so yellowed by time. Imagine getting this off the rack when it was brilliantly white. These next two are perhaps my favorite examples of this mini collection, and they both arrive in 1968. Daredevil number 45, cover art by Gene Colan, and Submariner number 7, cover art by John Buscema. They are simplistic, yet capture that ineffable visual experience that attracts me to this style of creation. I love seeing the half-tone dots of black and white under the richness of the color layers. Superman's Pal, Jimmy Olsen, number 138, cover art by Jack Kirby and Neal Adams. This is the first of a string of Superman photo collage covers, and they are all excellent specimens. This is also an example of Kirby being restricted from applying his full signature style to Supes, having the Man of Steel's face being redrawn to match DC's house style of Superman. Inside, there's a great double-page photo collage spread. The New Gods number 3, cover art by Jack Kirby. This is the last Kirby cover in my photo collage collection. Action Comics number 419, cover art by Neal Adams. This Neal Adams cover has great perspective. This issue is also the first appearance of Christopher Chance, the Human Target. From Beyond the Unknown number 11, cover art by Murphy Anderson. This cover is superbly bonkers. I love how Anderson uses both photo images as well as drawn cars perfectly juxtaposed yet seamlessly integrated. This must have been great fun to create. Superman number 263, cover art by Neal Adams. Here's another great Neal Adams photo collage. The final Superman photo collage cover is a playful creation by seminal Supes artist Curt Swan. Superman number 289. The cover depicts DC staff artists and writers Bob Rozakis, Cary Bates, Jack Harris, and Carl Gafford. The negative space of the Phantom Horseman brings an extra layer of dynamics to this cover. And the final comic on my list is Kazar the Savage number 26, cover art by Ron Frenz, Armando Gil, and Danny Fingeroth. This is a wraparound cover and includes an essay inside on its creation. Danny Fingeroth writes, "So Ron Frenz calls me up one day and says, 'Danny, how about if we use a photo background of the New York skyline on the cover of Kazar number 26? Then, over it, we can put symbolic shots of Kazar, Shanna, and Zabu as they hightail it back to the Savage Land.' Sounds great, Ron," I said. Fingeroth then goes on to describe his process of capturing the photos, and how the pencils, inks, colors, and layouts came together by the rest of the creative team before sending it off to the engraver. He then concludes, "As I write this, the drawn figures are in the hands of one color separation company, the photo negative in the hands of another, and we're not going to really know how it all comes out and together until you do. Such are the hazards of experimentation." I have a bonus issue I want to include. Animal Man number 26, cover art by Brian Bolin. Back in the day, I didn't do this much, but for some reason, I had the foresight to buy 2 copies of this most excellent issue. Not only is the cover extraordinary, it is the final issue of the original Grant Morrison run on Animal Man, and it perfectly encapsulates the dramatic meta-qualities of the book. And there it is, my collection of Photocollage comic book covers. These books are one example of the eclectic styles and techniques that comic book creators apply in this original American art form that we call comics.